Welcome back, Reedie and Z Week 7 recap. Your Washington Commanders obliterated the Carolina Panthers with a final score of 40-7. The Uptown Fair was jumping tonight, bro. What you think?
Uptown Federal, definitely jumping. Fans are back. We waved damn near the whole third quarter. It was definitely lit. I saw probably about 20 Panthers fans in the entire building. Definitely a special evening. We did have a slight hiccup. Mr. Jayden Daniels had an injury, but Mom Dukes tweeted that he's fine. He was on the sidelines high fiving and excited for his team. So not too worried on that. But definitely we was able to get the Panthers out of there as we should have, as we expected. We definitely had talks before the game about it potentially being a trap game, and we lucky it wasn't. 40-7 was our victory margin, and let's talk about it. How you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. 1991, we were going for the possible shutout, but Chuba Hubert got the 4 yard touchdown to put an end to that. But I'm gonna just start it off right now and just get right into it. Let's just talk about this defense. This defense came to play. Granted, it's the Carolina Panthers, but this is an NFL franchise that has some players on their team. This defense just been lights out. Joe Witt, he wasn't too happy with the performance in Baltimore. And talk about the defense coming out responding right away with the pick six by Dante Fowler Jr. On the attempted pass to Miles, what's his name, Miles Sanders. Um, the attempted pass to him, and he taking it all the way back to the house. That just was a pivotal thing. Dante Fowler has showed up and shown out over the last two games, and that was on a 3rd and 9 situation. And he also had a 4th and 2 on a 4th and 2 stop later in the game to you know get off the field. This game, Dante Fowler, that's my player of the game. 4 pressures, 3 hurries, 1 sack, 1 interception, leading to the touchdown. He also had 2 sacks. He followed up his performance against the Ravens, where he had 2 sacks. Talk about it. 13 tackles, 4.5 sacks in 7 games for somebody that we thought wasn't going to do much when he was signed to this team in the offseason.
Absolutely, absolutely. In the offseason, the top two signings on the D ends, on that D line was Armstrong, and then Farrell. Fowler was a guy that was a depth guy. Fowler went into camp, had a good camp, and Armstrong and Farrell was getting most of the snaps. As you see, we had some injuries there, and he was in the rotation, and he's just like he's taking advantage of his opportunities. Like you said, he had a great game against the Ravens. He's been sprinkling all year, just being in the mix. And today to get the pick six, took it to the house, gave the quarterback a little move. I mean, just breakaway speed on that one. It was definitely great to see. Man, the stadium was electric when that happened. It was just dope. Definitely a great experience, and definitely happy for Fowler. A guy that at the end of the year, he only signed a 1 year deal, so these guys are coming and taking advantage and doing what they got to do. And he's fighting for a spot, fighting for another deal. So shout out to him, and like you said, definitely the player of the game because he set the tone, and it was up from there.
Yeah, speaking on when Jaden Daniels went out, we were up 10-0, and then we come back with the emergence of number 13 in your program. They say he's number one in some people's heart. Emmanuel Forbes Jr. with the pick. Let's talk about him. It's been a rocky road to the start of this season. All he went through last year as a rookie, then coming in this year, kind of getting his spot taken, sitting out, being a healthy scratch a couple of games, and then he was able to battle back and come away with the big interception to get the offense back on the field to put more points on the board.
Definitely shout out to Manny Forbes. I had ran to get my second batch of chicken strips, and I come back and this man had a pick. I'm coming down. I'm yelling like, "Oh, Emmanuel Forbes, is that Forbes?" So definitely was excited to see him to be able to get that interception, and it could be a confidence builder moving forward. We'll see, but was excited for Forbes with that one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. just overall, we held Carolina to 180 total yards. When is the last time we've held anybody to 180 total yards? Andy Dalton just 85 passing yards with another 95 rushing yards on the day. It was a 4.2 yards per play today. We only gave up 10 first downs in the game, and they were 3 for 10 for third downs in the whole game. Just talking about just a dominant performance by this defense. That's like we said before. We've talked about at nauseum about how they need to come and play. They need to play better. And just last week, these same Carolina Panthers put up 300 and something yards on the Atlanta Falcons, which is which is said to be one of the better teams in this league. And for us to come out and just stop all of their offensive weapons that they have all across the board, um, and hold them to 180 yards, that speaks volumes of Joe Witt and what they talk about, the play style that they want to play as, and the identity that this team wants to have.
Absolutely. Just looking in the comments, just to piggyback on that topic. We got someone in the comments, Donnell Almighty, just said, as much as people tried to slight our win against Carolina, nobody else was up 37 nothing against them. That's definitely true. Just like you said, since Dalton came in, they kind of been in the mix. So what I mean, to kind of, Deontay, he's been turning up. What I mean, they've been able to, put up points offensively since making the quarterback change, and for us, our defense to kind of shut everything down across the board is definitely pivotal. And definitely, the momentum we need going into the Bears game. A team with a lot of weapons. Of course, they got the number one overall pick in Mr. Caleb Williams. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good game. So what I mean, just to see them go out today and kind of put forth that effort is definitely high hopes that they should be ready next week.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hopefully that they come in. Hopefully that Jayden Daniels is primed and ready to go. Like you said, you aforementioned about the tweet that his mother had tweeted out saying that he was fine. But anybody that ever had a abdominal injury, such as a rib or a lung or anything like that, is some painful shit, to be going through. He probably got shot up when he went to the back. So, of course, on the sideline, he probably wasn't in too much pain or whatever. He wasn't shown. They were talking about he wasn't grimacing on the post game with your man, the youngest in charge, Linnell, and Rick Walker on the fan. And so I just think that we'll know more tomorrow as it relates to that. But I want to pose this question to the chat. Do you guys think, after seeing this performance by Marcus Mariota, do you think if we have to go any time without Jayden Daniels under center, that we will be fine in these next two pivotal games that we need down the stretch in this early part of the season?
Well, until the chat turns up and we'll see what their responses are on that Mariota question. I'll say for myself, no, I wouldn't be satisfied. I would definitely need to see more from Mariota to be satisfied. I felt like at the beginning of the year, Driscoll did enough in the preseason. Hartman did enough through camp in the preseason where these guys should have been, number two and number three, and Mariota could have been traded or cut in my eyes. What I mean, they pretty much they signed him to be a mentor to Jayden. I wasn't really too. I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I didn't really think he was. What I mean, Marcus Mariota be that much of a mentor to Jayden. Maybe so. I don't know. But um, then he got hurt. Then they brought him back. They kind of trying to force him to be the number two. And I'm not really understanding it because I felt again Driscoll and Hartman did their job, but we'll see how that pans out. But to answer your question, I would need to see more from him to have that type of agreement with that. But also, I really don't want to see more of him because I want to see more of Mr. Jayden Daniels.
Absolutely. I think I kind of agree with you. I was a guy that said that, maybe we should cut Marcus Mariota. But, they seem that, the powers that be may see something in him where they're saying, he is pretty much similar, but let's not get it twisted. He is not Jayden Daniels, but he is similar in his road, be because he was the second overall pick and just being through some of the things that he had to go through in Atlanta and in Tennessee and other spots, and that experience that makes him, a good person to lean on for Jayden, as his development in this league. But I was also saying that we could also go with Hartman or we can go with Driscoll. Driscoll showed me a lot in the preseason and leading up into the season in camp. And Driscoll is a guy that I feel like he could do some things with his legs, sneaky with his legs, and he has the ability to stretch the field and you know, put the ball down the field. But, obviously today, coming in early in the first quarter, Marcus Mariota 18 of 23, 205 yards and two touchdowns. I thought he was fair, moving the offense. I thought, we were kind of just overmatched all across the board. I don't know if Carolina really came to play today, but we just seemed like we were just so much better in every facet of the game in all three phases of the game, with that being special teams, defense, and offensively. So I agree with you on that point. He kind of spread the ball around. Terry again had a good game, 6 receptions. Terry's finally coming alive. He didn't get the touchdown, but he got 98 yards. Glad to see Brian Robinson Jr. back in that much needed running game that we missed last week in Baltimore, with the 12 carries for 71 yards. I think we had 200 and something yards total rushing yards as a team today. I thought that was great, because last week we had like 50 something yards rushing, and I think for us to go far and for our offense to click, we need that balanced attack between the pass and the run. And I thought that was good today. I thought Cliff was in his bag again today, as usual, as he's been all year. And I just hope that we just keep it up moving forward, going into this pivotal matchup against Caleb and hopefully Jayden Daniels next week.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely was definitely happy to see us continue to be able to run the ball. I was definitely a little scared when Mariota came in. Just because his timing. He got better as the game went along, but I felt like his timing was off. He was late on a couple of throws. And then, what I mean, he pretty much just wasn't the same. What I mean? Of course, we knew he wouldn't beat Jayden, but I just felt like, those first couple of drives he was playing a little timid and he loosened up as the game went on. Even was able to get 34 yards rushing out of it with a long run of 11. So he definitely was able to move around and get around on his feet as well. So it definitely he let the game slow down for him and he finished up strong. Uh, but definitely, like you said, was so happy to see Terry, just continue to be targeted and kind of be treated, like that number one receiver on the team, getting those 6 catches with the 98 yards, almost getting 100 yards there. So that was definitely big. Zach Ertz was able to get his first touchdown of the season. Definitely, was happy to see Ertz get in the mix. He had 4 catches of 40 yards. Even Ben Sinnott got his first touchdown today, on the goal line there. So it was definitely great to see that, for the guys being able to get in there and do their thing. And just excited, like I said, excited to roll into this next Sunday against the Bears, a team that's been, hot. I believe they may have won like the last four, um, or last 3 out of 4, something like that. They're coming off a long break after the London game, and then they had a bye week this week, so they're going to be rested, and ready to go. So I'm just ready to see my team come out and fight more. But it's definitely today, like I said, this is one of those games that we normally just let an opponent come in, a lesser opponent, and we play down to them. But today that wasn't the case. We dominated from start to finish, and that was great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Is this a new trend? And we coined it Uptown Fed for those that don't know, because it's Northwest Stadium. So anybody that's from DC know we call Northwest Uptown, and then it's the Fed, short for the Federal Credit Union. So I thought it was buzzing in the air all day. We're starting off 3-0. When the last time we've been 3-0 at home? That's where we really suffer,
Facts.
in different parts of previous seasons, because we can't take care of business at home, and then we have to rely on winning on the road all the time. Like, we were a better team on the road than we were at home, but it feels good to have some of that home cooking and just to come out and give your fans something to cheer about. I haven't seen this building this electric since probably back in the RG3 era, 2012, going back to then, like the
Hmm.
wave they were like the wave 2 weeks in a row, just like it's just a new good feeling in that building. It's just like it's a new atmosphere. Just everything is just moving smoothly from even the food to the hospitality to the to the end game. I mean to the before game performances of the bands and the you just the entertainment value. Everything is just up in the Uptown Fed. And I just hope that we could just continue this in this season as we're on our rise. Who would have thought that we would be 5-2 right now, going into this week against the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams? Because if you would have told me, I didn't think that we would be this right now. And I gave us, I think the over for me was 8 wins on the season, or did I say 9 wins? I can't
No,
remember, but
you definitely said like eight. It was 8 to 9. 8 to 9 wins, and I remember saying, "Just chill, Bobby. We're gonna take it week by week." We wasn't gonna make no predictions, and that's just been my motto all year. But you definitely was saying about 8 to 9 wins, and I mean we're almost there. So, and like I
yeah,
told you earlier, I said, well, we got like 10 more games left.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's still a lot of football to be played. And like we said, next up, the next one on the schedule is the Bears. So we got to take care of business before we move on. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing, just to kind of roll into a little preview about the Bears. I'm just looking forward to seeing our defense step up and being able to stop them weapons, not allow the Keenan Allens, the DJ Moores, the
Roma Dunze.
Azunde, yeah, Adunze, not allowing these guys to come in and just pass all over us. Caleb is definitely he's a mobile guy. He can move around. We've done pretty good thus far this year against those mobile quarterbacks, keeping them in the pocket, not allowing them to just run around crazy. So I'm definitely thinking we should be able to contain him. But like that wide receiver room is just crazy, and our DBs are super suspects. So it's definitely one of them things where I'm worried on that aspect of it. But I think even with them having Swift in the backfield, I think we should be able to tame Swift as well. But it's definitely going to be an exciting game. They flexed it. It's a homecoming for Caleb, 1 versus 2. It's storylines all over this game, so I can't wait. I can't wait. But offensively, I just want us to continue to be who we are. Run the ball, play action, read option, and get these guys the ball. Make plays. So I think that we can do that, and I think this will be this game will definitely be a test. But I feel like we can pull this one out.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say one thing about I gave Cliff his praise, but one negative that I have for him, I don't understand why you're running the read option with Marcus Mariota. He's not the same athlete that he was 5, 6, 7 years ago. He can't stretch the field like Jayden can on a read option. You gotta have a different package for that quarterback. Be it that you weren't expecting him to be in the game, but you should still go into it having some type of package for that quarterback because they are not the same player. And I just feel like early when Marcus got in the game, we kind of wasted some downs in like one or two possessions for him trying to warm up. And you got to do a couple different things. I thought we went away from our screen game, which we've been hitting the last few weeks, and I felt like we could have, got him into the game by hitting our screen game early. And what's the deal with Eckler? Why? What do you guys think? Like, why are they got Eckler on a pitch count? Like, I feel like he needs to be more involved in this offense because when Eckler's on the field, he gives you that dynamic to stretch the field and give the defense something that they're not capable of stopping. Like I like the idea of having Brian Robinson and Eckler on the field at the same time in a split formation because you're giving that idea of you could give to whoever the ball. But we need to see more of Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler is a weapon outside of the backfield. Yeah, Jeremy McNichols, everybody wants to get their touches, but I feel like we need more Eckler. I'm calling for more Eckler next week against the Bears. We need more time of possession and to stay on the field a little bit longer against them and keep Caleb Williams and that potent pass offense off the field. And let's not forget that they do have a running game that is very capable in Chicago as well. So it's going to be a tough task for us next week, but I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, definitely. And in the comments, Jack even said it's a long season. Definitely potentially load management. He is freshly coming off those concussions, so you probably don't want to, just put him out there to take the pounding, and run him too much. I think that he definitely he still got his same type plays. I think us featuring him as like the number one guy or giving him a lot of courage, I don't think that's the plan. I don't think that's the concept, the style that we want to use him. Just from my observance.
I'm not
You know
even
what I mean? Because
speaking more real quick. I'm not even really speaking more so in the run game. I'm speaking more so in the passing game. Like he's a weapon in the passing game. Look what look what he did in with the Chargers. Like out of the backfield, like we just got to utilize him. We could split him out, put him in different positions, all across the board, and just let him cook. That's my
yeah.
thing. I just feel like he needs more touches because you get him in the open field, it's a problem.
Yeah, definitely. If you're speaking on the pass game, for sure. I was thinking you was talking about the running game and just, just trying to limit the pounding on him. But in the pass game, he's definitely a weapon. He's definitely can make plays, and I hope that, and I believe that, when the time comes, they're definitely going to shock us and get him back in the pass game, whether it's the flares, the screens, or lining them out in motion and putting them in a slot, things of that nature. We'll see. We'll see for sure. But today, I feel like what I was going to say in reference to the running game. It seems like they want McNichols to kind of be that second power guy to take the beating until they, just to kind of give Eckler his time and not take that extra beating, for sure.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, but
I
on
think McNichols brings a unique and a unique skill set that we may have thought we didn't have at the beginning of the season, that they were able to take advantage of. I think he's a good backup to Eckler and or Brian Robinson, because he kind of has both. He kind of has that power game to him, and he has that finesse game. They don't really utilize him too much in the pass game out of the backfield. Um, so we haven't really seen too much of that with him. But but like you said, I think it's good what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Jumping over to the IG comments. Cliff stuck to his game plan, and that's the big reason he's on this team. Um, we need another corner. Marcus Mariota still got the ability to move around with his legs. You saw as the game went along, his throws started to hit. His throws started to hit. And he extended plays with his legs. At this point, we can't afford for Mariota to get hurt. Caleb has definitely woke up. This next game is going to be on the defense. I think we get the receiver from the Panthers this upcoming week. And they were saying, yeah, the defense woke the fuck up today. They're proud of them. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's 5-2. 5-2. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling for sure. Um, Witnessing this and the excitement around the entire team leaving the stadium. Just like even last week after that L, just to kind of walk out of there with our heads high, just knowing that it's a long season and we got a good team. It just feels good. By week 6, week 7, we ready to kick the bucket on the season and really ready to sell all his tickets and calling off all tailgates and all that.
Facts,
So,
facts.
Reedie's been on board. He been on his. I called him midweek and he on his game tape. He chased Daniel's breakdown. He's in the coaching clinics. It's just up. It's up for us. So I'm loving what I'm seeing, and it's just keeping us happy, keeping the stress levels down, and it's exciting to see. So
We
it's
really,
up for
and
it's
being
Commander
honest, like
time
if
for sure.
people that have been following this podcast since its inception would know, like we spend 90% of the pods complaining, and this year's just been a breath of fresh air for real. Like
For
seriously,
sure.
like
For
just
sure.
having something positive to speak on and just not the negativity. Like I feel like it's just more percentage of positivity than it is negativity. Even in the loss against Baltimore, like I struggle with stuff to point out.
Hmm.
There were a few things, but it wasn't, as Joe Witt said this week in his pressure on Thursday, there were four plays that cost us the game, basically, in his eyes. I would like to, be a fly on the wall in their meeting room to figure out what four plays they were, to make sure that they might be something that I thought may have cost us the game. But in their eyes, that's what they're saying. But it just feels good to be a fan in Washington right now. Just even the respect that we're getting around the league from the national media as well as the other fans of the other teams. Like, and it's just amazing. And I'm just here for it, and I just hope it lasts and it just keeps going. This team has definitely surprised me because I didn't think that we would be in this position under no circumstances this year. I thought it was going to be a rough, rocky road, and knock on wood, we still got a lot of season left, like he said. But right now, it's looking good. So now this is the next test. We had the Joe Burrows, we had the Lamar Jackson. Now we see Caleb Williams, and then we see how we fare against them, and we'll come out of that one, and give our take on that.
For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Before we close out and checking on any other comments, B Rob, AK, and J Mac is a good group. Gives us all something different. That's totally true. Deontay Johnson would be a good number two alongside Terry. We'll see. I saw a post come out the other day talking about a potential trade for Deontay, and it was saying a 6th round pick. I don't know if that gets us Deontay, but that was what I saw. I'm thinking fourth or fifth, actually, but we'll see.
But why?
Louis,
Why? So this is my thing. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry, but we got bigger fish to fry. I think we need more corner help or defensive line help than we do at the wide receiver position at this point. Yeah, I mean Noah Brown has sprinkled into the true number two receiver. Noah Brown, he's doing this thing out there. I just feel like he needs more opportunities. Do we need to waste draft capital on, he's a young player? Yeah. Okay, but I feel like we need a corner. We need to go, we need to go call the Browns up and see if we get Denzel Ward or Newsom or somebody like that from over there before we're talking about bringing in a wide receiver. In my opinion, I don't know what y'all think. Chat on Instagram. What do y'all think? Y'all think we need a receiver or we need a corner? Because I feel like our struggles are in the defensive backfield.
I think that we need corner, we need a D lineman, and we need a receiver. Whatever order they choose to, acquire someone else, don't necessarily matter to me, as long as we're able to address those. I think if they're one of based off priority, absolutely, cornerback is number one. Or pass rusher could be number one. They kind of complement each other. You get another pass rusher, you get somebody that's on the quarterback, it helps your corners. Or if you get a corner that can cover long enough, it helps your D lineman. So, it can go either way with that one and 1A. But then, receiver is definitely on the back burner to those two. But I think if we can get a weapon for the low, then that's what we need to do, for sure, on all three of those positions.
Yeah, I think corner is the priority to me. Because we talked about Dante Fowler and we talked about Dorrance Armstrong and we talked about the other names on that defensive line that have been stepping up in lieu of, last year we had Chase Younger, we had Montez Sweat, and we thought we lost all of this production from them. But these guys by committee has been putting up better numbers than what they put up. So I feel like that patchwork that we have on the defensive line is fine for now. And I just feel like we need help in that secondary, especially at that cornerback position, because St. Jude and they can't hold up down the stretch. Number 11 is back. He looked like he was hooping today. The first part of the game when I watched a little bit of that Eagles game. So we got some tough receivers, trio of receivers coming in here that we got to fight with if we think we're going to be there in the end and fight for this NFC East crown. So I feel like to me that's the number one position of need right now, and then we could worry about um, edge or then a receiver. I feel like the committee approach has worked for the wide receiver and it has worked for the defensive line thus far. That's just my opinion. I just feel like the most need is at cornerback. I feel like our safeties have held up and they've played solid, and our linebacker core has played solid. I just feel like we just need help in that cornerback room.
For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. I hope we win. I don't want Eagles catch up. Hopefully, Cincinnati handle them this week. Um, Mikey Sanderfield on the defense looks like he shut down. Would have still in the draft, playing better on the outside. Do you guys think it'll be good to move? It'll be a good move with his injury. Which one are you talking about, LJ?
You got to
Um,
be talking about the receiver because he's the one that had what he was listed this
oh,
morning with
oh, oh, he
five
talking about
injuries.
Deontay. Yeah, Deontay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if he's really, really injured, I mean, I don't think today. I mean, he played the whole game today, so the injury may not be, what it's been, portrayed to be. It's just today they wasn't able to do anything, Dalton nor Bryce. So I think Deontay is fine. I mean, but if you can get him for a fifth or a sixth, yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? I mean, he showed that he can be productive. He did his thing with Pittsburgh. They traded him. He was number one out there. If he had a quarterback, he could put up numbers. You saw what he was doing, what he was able to do once Dalton got in the mix. So, I mean, imagine him with somebody like Jayden Daniels. That'd just be sick. Um, People are agreeing that corners first over a receiver. All trades should be focused on the cornerback position. I'm sick of seeing the middle of the field open for any and everybody. We honestly need both, but a corner is a dire need. Definitely need a cornerback. Um, somebody I see, I need 25 off the field. Did St. Jude had a bad game today? Corner, wide receiver, D line. Newsom, Horn, Ward. Those are nice at corners for us. I feel like we should use one of our safeties more in coverage. With a lot of depth back there, and they could be big help on the defense.
I don't
Yeah,
agree with that. I don't think we need to use our safeties in coverage. I feel like we're using our safeties where they're needed in the run game. We struggle to stop the run, so you got to bring Chin down. The only safety that needs to be over top is Butler, and or when you bring in who's the other safety that they when they
Force.
were no, not Forrest, the other safety when they brought him in and he was down in the box. The name is escaping me right now,
You
but
talking about
I
Martin?
yeah, Quan Martin. Quan Martin's also they using him as a strong safety as they're using Jeremy Chin as a strong safety down in the box. I feel like Frankie Louvu helps us with the pass rush because he can blitz from everywhere. That's what he excelled at when he was in Carolina, from blitzing from all over the field. He could be a down lineman. You could put him anywhere. You could put him at the 3 technique. You could put him at the 5 technique. You could put him anywhere on the field. Like, he is a very versatile linebacker. He doesn't just have to be back there standing next to Bobby Wagner in a 4-3 stack or a 5-2 if they go 5 down linemen and a 5-2 and 2 linebackers. You know what I'm saying? And playing the cover 3 behind it. I just feel like we got options like bringing in a lockdown corner on one side. Even if you still got St. June, you got all of those Igonogamy and all of them other guys. We can scheme that, and that could be like kind of coverage. But you need somebody that can play man on them top receivers and lock them down. We need somebody, and you got to give up what you got to give up to get it. Unless you're gonna get it in the draft, I don't think we're drafting 12 from Colorado, so we're going to be at the back end of the draft if the season goes how it's going right now. So I feel like you got to put your chips in and go after one of those top corners. L says all the time, we need a corner, we need a corner. I'd be like, oh, L, shut the fuck up. We don't need a corner. We don't need a corner, but we definitely need a corner. Out of all of the times he said we need a corner. That is the number one need of this team.
Respect, respect. Totally, totally with you on that. Totally with you on that. Yeah, I mean, so that pretty much, kind of summing up everything. I mean, I just all I really got on my end, to be honest. Uh, but on to the Bears. On to the Bears. Hopefully, Well, I mean, there also have been reports that they plan for us to be buyers as the deadline approaches in a couple of weeks. This basically saying Peters has been checking in and making calls and doing his thing. So we'll see how that pan out. And I believe that Peters has always got his ears. What we say, keep your ears to the streets. I think he always got his ears to the streets, trying to figure out what's going on here, who's available, and what's what. So yeah.
Yeah, they saying St. Jude he allowed the touchdown. I didn't really notice St. Jude today. I really wasn't paying attention really to St. Jude. I
Yeah.
didn't really notice him, and they say he doesn't have awareness. Crazy. But yeah, that's really all I got today. Great team win. And like I said, in all facets, we're on to the Bears. Check out our videos this week. We'll be posting on Instagram and all platforms. Check out the pod. We've been having some technical difficulties with this podcast streaming live. So there will be the, I guess we want to say edited version that'll go up sometime tonight. And also the audio version that's going to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So if you haven't already, follow us on there and just, chime in with us, man. Comment with us. We're very engaging. We want to engage with you guys and we want to know what you think, how we can make the pod better and how we could just do things differently to kind of get you these information on this team as we move forward. And all I got to do is say, hell to 'em.
No. Reedie has a new saying, y'all. Hell to the W. He said it all last week. I'm in there yelling hell to him. He hell to the W. It wasn't until I kept hearing it and I finally went through my phone trying to do some content. And we was in the liquor store. He was hell to the W the whole damn day. Hell to the W. So that's Reedie shit. Hell, no more hell to him. Hell to him was a 2-year run. It was hell to the
Nah,
W
nah,
now.
nah, 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 nah. That's your man. I mean, keep listening to your man Doc and Linnell. They keep talking about Doc keep talking about hell to the W. That's where I got that from.
Respect.
But it's reading his ears hell to him. That's we coined that
Hell
hell
to
to
him.
him.
Let's
You
go.
know.
So
But
stay
we're
tuned,
holler at
yeah.
y'all.
Stay tuned and stay tapped in. Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to our sponsors, KB3 Events, great clothing line, and Saray's Catering. If you would like to, have your business be a sponsor for us, we have a sponsor sign up list. A link in our bio, and just tap in with us, and we can work out a deal. We just trying to collab and expand. So tap in with us and let's go. Until next week, on to the Bears. Love y'all. Peace out.